Welcome, everybody. I'm back. 2 weeks off. I had 2 weeks off. Holiday half term. I hope we're all good. Just make my tea. Welcome back to my kitchen. Feels like a long time. And this is episode 40. And episode 1 kind of occurred in lockdown. And episode 40, we're going into lockdown. So absolutely tremendous. National measures. I think it's national measures, not lockdown. Anyway, I hope everybody's good. I've got a question. It's great. I've got a question, and it's nearly firework night, so I thought I'd do a firework question. So my question is, how many fireworks were used in the world's biggest firework display? That's my question. How many fireworks were used in the world's biggest firework display? Type your number in, and it is quite a lot. I will say that it's quite a lot. So how many fireworks? There's lots of people on. So don't be afraid to guess. We're going to do diversity and inclusion today. That's what we're going to talk about. Got 10 minutes on that. Be all right. Anybody got a guess? How many fireworks? It's just a number. Go on, go for it. Be brave. Let's try to see that away. 50,000. 50,000 from Clara, 300,000 from Sam. Good. It's good, but wrong. Anyway, Action Man, toy from my past. Yeah, well, let's talk about some stuff. So anybody else want to guess? Anyway, have a guess. If you can't guess, 76,000. 76,000. If I give you a clue, the display lasted 61 minutes. I didn't hear the question. Oh, the question, you can have another guess, Kerry, it's all right. The question is, how many fireworks were used in the world's biggest firework display? And it lasted 61. It lasted 61 minutes. I think it's brilliant that you've guessed and not even heard the questions. That's tremendous. So there's a few more people coming on. How many fireworks in the world's biggest firework display? That's because it's nearly there. And we nearly did a session last week. I asked Clara a bonus question. Maybe I'll do my bonus question, but Clara, you can't answer it. And it was a Halloween question. It was, how big was the biggest pumpkin ever grown in the UK? How much did it weigh in stone? So you can answer that one as well. Oh, I'll definitely change it. 246,000. Now you know I've said, yeah. Anyway, that's a nice cup of tea. I've got a bit of an old school biscuit, actually. Really, really big. It was really, really big, the pumpkin, wasn't it? It's amazing, the pumpkin. Ginger cream, nice biscuit. I'll have that later. Anyway, diversity and inclusion. So one of the first things I thought I'd talk about is kind of what's the difference? Because these words often get used together. They're seen as a bit interchangeable. So diversity in a business is about, it's kind of, does it reflect the society it operates in? A million for Kev Hutch. That's amazing. That's pretty good. Blimey, I just realised, Kev Hutch, how are you, mate? Blimey, it's been years, fella. That's amazing. Nice to see your name pop up. I thought it said Kev Hutchins for a minute. I thought it's Kev Hutchins. Lovely to see you online. Anyway, so diversity and diversity is, does the business reflect the society it's operating in? And then inclusivity is about the presence of all of the difference within an organisation. That's the kind of the thing. Now I did read something else that I quite liked, and it said diversity is the mix, and inclusivity, inclusion, is mixing the mix. And I kind of quite like that. So diversity is the ingredients of a cake, and inclusivity is the cake, I guess. So I thought I'd talk about some of the things that kind of make up those good organisations. And the first thing that comes out, and you know, I just want to say as well, I work, you know, the organisation I work in, I think we have all these challenges as well. And you know, some of the things I see going on in my own business, I think we're probably trying to become a more diverse, more inclusive organisation, even as we speak. So the very first one is about sense of belonging. So how can we create this sense of belonging in a business? And one of the big things is that you can do this with is values in organisations. And we see values time and time again, and they're often posters on walls, and they're often from the top down. But the values should come from the people, and everybody should have an opportunity to create values of an organisation. rather than, you know, 4 people sitting in a room going, right, these are the values that we want everybody to have. Often those common things will bring people together anyway. And if people are committed and they can see their values being represented in a business values, they're a lot more committed to the organisation. This is like proven data. If you want to know where that kind of comes from, I was retired. Can't believe I used to work this. I was retired. It's an outrage. So this is proven data from 2 guys called Jim Coos and Barry Posner. And if you are committed to your values and they can be replicated in the business, feel more inclusive, but greater sense of belonging. The second thing, empathetic leaders. We need empathetic leaders, both intellectually and emotionally. It's every leader. Now, one of the big things as well that comes out at the moment is about self-leadership. So leadership comes everywhere through an organisation, and I think that's pretty important. So it's not just HR's job to make sure that diversity and inclusion is there. It's everybody's role. And one of the things I think I kind of read out, so what does this mean? It was about identify a situation in yourself where you felt excluded. What happened? Why was that? If you were doing something different, what could you have done? But how did that make you feel? And certainly I think higher up the food chain you go, if you can start representing that and remembering that in your own mind, I think that's well worth taking on. That one links that self-leadership next to the next point, which is top-down's not enough. Everyone needs to see the role of inclusivity and the need for it. So it has to be seen by each people in the organisation and actively challenged. This can link on to some of the other points I'm going to talk about, but it's how we recognise and reward, and inclusivity should be a part of like almost a performance culture of an organisation. We will have seen this before with things like diversity and stuff like that, but quotas aren't inclusive. That's not what it's all about. It's about, does the organisation create the opportunity for everybody to have a chance, for everybody to contribute? Or are people not being allowed to see certain documents, or they don't have access to certain things? There's a real danger we can sometimes just work in an echo chamber that suits ourselves, suits our own agenda. Whereas with the massive spread of generations at work at the moment, it's important we take in all of those views. Now, by involving and including more people, there's a greater chance of recruitment. There's a greater chance of conflict, which is good, as long as we're not biting people's heads off or something like that. But that inclusivity and that difference will generally kind of bring together different opinions. So think about where we recruit people from. Where's the source of our recruitment? How do we onboard people once they're there? Is it the same right across? And do we performance manager around culture, values? Is that all addressed within performance management, or that's something that's just missed out? Inclusivity is ongoing. That's a trainer favourite, but you know, it's a journey, not a destination. So you can't put people on a diversity and inclusion course and then go, "Yep, sorted that one out." That's not what it's about. Of course, quite at the moment, you can't put on a diversity and inclusion course because there aren't any. But anyway, so you can't just do simple things like that. You can include things in performance management goals. Another little one, which I'd always love, is about maximise joy and minimise fear. So think about the stories we tell to keep the positivity up. Empowerment of failure is important. And public displays of inclusivity. So where it's happened, let people see what we've done. And I read somewhere an organisation had a commitment tree of inclusivity. So where something had been done, they like hung up a like little leaf of inclusivity on a tree, so people could see this. Another big thing that we kind of want to get away from, and I've remembered this in the organisation I've worked in, it's forget fit. So forget fit in an organisation, and it's a phrase I reckon we've all probably used if we've been involved in recruitment. And you know, it's about, I'm not quite sure the fit's right. So fit will naturally exclude. So it's not inclusive. The fit, if you're going to do it, needs to be around values, mission, and purpose. That's the only fit, not just this like very holistic statement of, oh yeah, we've got to get the fit right. And I'm not sure they're going to fit in with everyone. And it's like, well, what, we're just recruiting all the same people, and that's not what we're after. And the last thing here around there was about brand. What's the brand of your organisation? What do other people see? What do your customers see? What is the brand you're projecting out there? And what does your brand say about your organisation? Is it inclusive? Is it diverse? What about, are there some unconscious biases bleeding through that might come through? And I think they're the key things that I was picking up around diversity and inclusion. Diversity, remember, is about, are we representative of the society that we currently live in? Inclusivity is about, are we giving people the same opportunity, the opportunities to do all the things? And I know I mentioned this on an earlier T at 3, but it's about, I think it links tightly with collaboration. How do we collaborate? Often gets stymied in with the word around teamwork. The way we collaborate is we bring different people in, whereas a team tends to stay quite intact. So it's kind of important that we're utilising all of the people and including different. So it doesn't mean there's 900 people in an organisation, we use 900 people to make a decision. But what we're thinking about is, has everybody had the same opportunity to be involved, or did we just pick the top 6 all the time? Whatever it is. All right. So there's just a little food for thought out there. Now, a few things to close off with today. We'll be there again next Tuesday, and I thought, because we're rolling into national measures, take 2, I thought it might be a time to revisit positivity. It's kind of again come to the front of my organisation's mind. That is something that we want to look at. So I thought there could be some nice benefits there. So I'm going to do about staying positive in the workplace. Staying positive part 2 as we go into national measures part 2. So that's what we're going to talk about next Tuesday. Of course, my question. What's my question? How big? Well, I'll do them both actually. How big was the biggest pumpkin? Nobody had a guess on that, and that's fine. It was 185 stone. That's absolutely incredible. There's a pumpkin 185 stone. That was the bonus question. But the second question, the real question about how many was the biggest fireworks, and there he is. He hasn't been around for ages, and Kev Hutchinson came in with 1 million fireworks, and it was in fact 810,904 fireworks. So that's a lot of fireworks, and better than my little box of standard that I used to get when I was like 10 years old. So it took them 61 minutes to light them. Anyway, everybody have a great day. I'm going to enjoy my ginger cream. Catch you next week for a bit of positivity. Thanks very much for coming back after 2 weeks off. It's great to see you. It was amazing. You can see it online. You can YouTube all 1 hour of it. So whilst you're eating a 185 stone pumpkin. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you soon.